Then, the stars of 60 Days in Atlanta have some explaining to do.
Basic human rights I just took for granted. The fresh air, the fresh water.
Did you think you were gonna make it?
Absolutely not.
I'm here to help. Folks, with all the news we hear about police officers, you know, having trouble in their communities and everything, there's nothing like a feel-good moment, you know. You need these sometimes, cops and citizens getting along, you know, especially getting along and getting down. Check out this dance-off I found where one cop had with a young woman in the neighborhood. Yeah. Getting with it. That's really cool. You need to see some of that every now and then, you know. We've got more positive police stories all hour long. In fact, I'm coming to the rescue of one cop who says that her profession is getting in the way of her love life. It seems that some men don't pass her background check. Others are intimidated because of the fact that she's a cop. But look at her. This is her. She looks great. Who'd be intimidated by that? But she does have a gun, nightstick, and a can of mace. She'll be out here soon. But first, let's go to the audience. It's time for Ask Steve. Let's go. All right, where's Joanna?
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
My fiance and I have a 10-month-old baby girl. I also have 2 other children from a previous relationship, but this is our first daughter together. I feel like I'm a veteran parent, and he's just a rookie. He researches everything before she can touch it. So diapers, wipies, toys, medicine, everything, you name it, he researches. It drives me crazy. How do I get him to realize that the baby's gonna be fine and he doesn't have to research everything?
Is that him, right? Is that you?
This is my fiance,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this your first one?
It is.
10-month-old, yeah. Did you research how it felt to get up all damn night long? Yeah.
I did my fair share, yes.
Yeah. The baby sleeping through the night now?
She is.
Mm-hmm. Finally.
I don't know. I think, you know, he's gonna have to learn it for himself, you know? So just let him research the stuff, you know? She got it under control. She know what she's doing, you know? She's got 2 other kids, you know?
True.
Mothers learn really fast. When the second one comes, the panic is not on every time they cry. They stop that third one, they just go, whatever. Because, you know, like, my daughters, they have children for the first time, right? And they don't know how to do it. And they give them to Marjorie, and Marjorie will walk past the bassinet, one of them be crying and just go, you're gonna get over it, come on. You're gonna learn, man, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn or you're gonna drive yourself crazy. No. So quit Googling everything. You're a daddy now, just relax. Just figure out how you're gonna make all these payments. What you need to look up is how the hell you're gonna have the money to send all their ass to college. That's what you need. Thank you, folks, that's good. Where's Melissa?
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
My husband, 3 children, and myself recently moved to a newer neighborhood in Chicago where it turns out a lot of police officers happen to live.
Oh, okay.
Which means a lot of the parents of my children's friends happen to be cops. Where it gets a little strange is I feel like I'm one of the more strict parents in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I notice some of the children of the police officers are out past curfew or might be a little bit disrespectful at times. So I'm a little worried as my children are getting older that this might become a bad influence. But Steve, how would you suggest I speak to the police parents about holding their children a little more accountable for some of their behaviors?
You gonna go talk to some other people about how to raise their kids? Did that sound like it's a good idea to you?
No.
It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea. These kids, it's like preachers' kids. You know, they do stuff because they think they can get away with it. Mm-hmm. Just raise your kids best you can. You know, or you can move. But you will now be moving out of one of the safest neighborhoods on planet Earth. And I watch the news up here in Chicago. You better stay your ass right there.
That's a very good neighborhood, yes.
Tiffany's got a question. Where's Tiffany?
Hi, Steve. Well, this might not be a crime, but I think it should be. My husband and I have been married for 7 years, and we have a tradition where we go out on a date night every Friday.
Oh, that's good.
And we sometimes try to figure out if we're going to do action flick or chick flick. But anyway, after the movies, we go to Applebee's. And my husband and I always go to the same Applebee's. We sit in the same spot. We order the same thing. And it's always boneless barbecue chicken wings and the $2 draft beer. Now, I'm not asking for the Ritz or anything like that. I just want a steak, salmon, little something off the wood fire grill. You know, how can I convince my husband to allow me to order off of that menu instead of the half price?
Wait. You can't order off the wood fire menu?
He always saying like as if it was too expensive or something, and I'm like,
who the hell go to Applebee's and don't order off the wood? You gotta order off the wood grill menu.
I try.
What do you mean you try?
Listen, Steve, I put my best hair on, makeup, smiles, perfume, and I say, hey, can I get the salmon this time? He said, I already ordered ahead. How can you help me, Steve? Help me. How can you, I need to convince him to allow me.
Married to her, because my wife don't listen to a damn thing I say. Get you a steak.
Okay.
Baby, this is what you do. The waitress come to the table. They take your order. You gonna get them boneless fish, what you get?
Boneless chicken wings.
And then you get draft beer.
Draft beer.
Okay, here's what you do. The lady put the order in. Excuse yourself and go to the bathroom. Go right up to the lady and say, excuse me. I want them grilled pork chops. Double with extra applesauce on the side. And I want them seared heavily and put it on a nice char on it.
Okay.
And then go back and sit down. When she bring it to the table, what he gonna do?
Probably eat it with me.
Then guess what? Then his cheap ass will quit ordering them damn chicken wings. We'll be right back, folks.
After the break, she can take down crooks but can't lock up her love life.
Coming across men who are actually secure, with me being a law enforcement officer, it's hard.
So Steve's called in some backup.
I have to choose.
When it comes to being a cop and taking down perps / vicious ass criminals, my next guest has things under control. Where she needs help is finding a man who can handle her profession and pass a background check. You ain't right with them background checks. Please welcome Cameron.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cameron, you're a policewoman in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Good Lord. Is that a tough job?
Fair Godfather Steve, it is an extremely tough job. Being a law enforcement officer is hard anyway, but being a female officer is a bit challenging, obviously because of my size. When I come in contact with perps, and they see my pink nails or my pink work bag or my pink handcuffs, of course they try to challenge me, but I don't have any issues with putting you in the back of my unit in them pink handcuffs, so.
Damn. So tell me a little bit about your dating life.
Fairy godfather, it's hard.
This is the first time I've ever been to Fairy Godfather.
Fairy godfather Steve.
I kind of like that. I'm going to keep that one.
Yes. It's hard. I would consider myself a veteran in reference to dating, but I'm ready to retire. I'm ready to hang up the dating life. I've dated and I come across perps. I don't know if they have pending cases. I don't know how many times you've been to jail. These are things that I have to know. My job, depends on that. So obviously I can't run you to find out. So I'm having a hard time actually meeting good guys who can get approved for more than.
Okay, hold on one second. You say you can't run them to find out. That mean put their information in the computer?
Yeah, that's you
that's
can't do
illegal.
That. Absolutely.
You know, good and hell well y'all do that.
No. No, we do not, Fairy Godfather. You can't. Well, I love my job. I enjoy my job, so I'm not going to do anything to risk it.
Now, you say you have another issue in the dating department. What is that?
Well, I've been married and divorced, and it's coming across men who are actually secure with me being a law enforcement officer. Most of my time is dedicated towards my career and my job, which means when I'm with a man or I'm married, he thinks that I'm supposed to be at home. He's not confident with being with a woman who's headstrong, who carries a gun, who shoots the rifle, who I know how to play my part, but I need a good, secure man, Fairy Godfather. I need him to come correct.
Okay, I got you. I'm going to do my best to turn Cameron's dating situation around. I got two guys here who have never been seen in a lineup.
Okay.
They know what you do for a living.
Okay.
And they each want to take you out. Fellas, come on out. Fellas, introduce yourselves.
My name is Lucas. I am a Spanish teacher in middle school. I'm originally from Venezuela. I've been living in Atlanta for over 15 years. I was raised in a household that was taught on principles such as hard work, discipline. I also have experience in athletics. I had an opportunity to play professional soccer overseas in Mexico. I've been fortunate enough to have traveled to over 20 different countries, and I'm looking for that special woman that I can travel the world with and start a family.
That's interesting. That's interesting because my daughter is dating a professional soccer player, and I want to meet with you after the show, see what you know about his ass. Ronald?
Hi, Cameron. My name is Ron. I'm a 34-year-old software developer from Atlanta, Georgia. I was born and raised in Tuskegee, Alabama. I have a very close-knit family. My parents have been together for 35 years. My dad's a #1 Steve Harvey fan. And some of the things I enjoy doing for fun, I like traveling. I enjoy sporting events as well as brunch. And I'd love to have a strong woman like you on my arm.
Well, Cameron, what do you think?
Fairy Godfather Steve, I like to use my cuffs on both of them. I have to choose?
Yeah, well...
I got it.
Well, the choosing, here's the thing.
I got two cuffs.
Yeah, I know, but see, here's the thing. You just keep getting it wrong. You ain't making the right decisions. And so, you're not conducting these interviews today.
I'm used to doing that, though. I'm used to conducting the interviews. I ask the questions.
Mm-hmm. And you used to being by yourself. See, sometimes if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're gonna keep getting what you've been getting.
Result.
So I bought some backup. Check this out. These are Cameron's family and friends. They all work in law enforcement. And so Cameron, of course, didn't know this was happening. Folks, introduce yourselves, please.
I'm Officer Johnson. I'm a detention officer. I'm Cameron's best friend, and I'm also her mom.
Hi, I'm Officer Arthur. I work in the Special Ops Unit. I've worked on several calls with Cameron, and I consider her a great friend.
I'm Officer Wilson. I work in the housing unit where we house the inmates before they're transported. I've known Cameron since high school, and I consider her a big sister.
Hello, my name is Tamika. I'm a records clerk along with a fingerprint technician at Chamblee Police Department, and Shin Holster is one of my best friends.
Finally, I'm Officer Curry. I work at the Chamblee Police Department Special Ops Unit. I've been on several calls with Cameron. I'm very protective of her.
But did he just look at the two dudes?
That's my big brother. That's my big brother.
Listen, we got a great group right here. Cameron's friends and family believe that they can do better at choosing the right man than she can. They'll take the lead on this investigation. Right after this, this ought to be good.
Stay tuned. Will Cameron's cops be able to crack the case?
I asked Steve your name prior to the show, and I did my own little investigation. Do you care to explain?
We never, oh, hell no.
And later,
right now. These boys are enrolling in First Glove Advanced Studies.
The kiss.
About tongue to tongue.
Watch this right here. Keep your tongue in your mouth.
Then, surprise, surprise, Mama's got a man tomorrow.
All right, I'm back with Cameron, who's a Metro cop in Atlanta. Her family and co-workers, who are all in law enforcement, want to help her land a good guy. I've narrowed it down to 2 men. I believe would be great for her. Now it's up to everyone else to interrogate and choose. It won't be you, Cameron. You're not good at this. We're going to start with the first bachelor, Lucas. We're going to do them one at a time. So, Officer Johnson, who is mom, you have a question for Lucas?
I do. Hi, Lucas.
How you doing, Miss Johnson?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Okay. Me and Cameron, we speak the law enforcement lingo. Pretty much, that's our normal talk. We say the 10-4. We say, are you 10-6? What's your 20? If you and Cameron were to, you know, kind of hook up, what would be your code for her and what would it mean?
It's a good question. I think I would have to reference back to being a native Spanish speaker. So I would want to use our code in my native language in Spanish. So in Spanish-speaking countries, sometimes 911 doesn't translate to an emergency or a police number. So I would probably make our special code be 911, emergencia bella, which means 911. It's a beautiful emergency. We should see each other.
Officer Wilson went, oh, hell. All right now. Yeah, nueve nachos your damn self. You better not say it to me. Even big old hard Officer Curry kind of went, oh, hell. That's pretty smooth there. Officer Arthur, you've got a question for Lucas.
Sure. I've worked several special cases with Cameron, and one thing I do know about Cameron, she doesn't like a man who can't admit that he's wrong. What is a mistake that you have made, and how did you learn from it?
You know, I think mistakes are always made, and I think in reference to relationships, Cameron, for me, I've lost out on a lot of great women just because I was very selfish. So for me, having learned from those failed relationships, I learned that it's important to give someone else that same amount of respect and time, which for me at times meant that I was putting my personal success or career first. And I had to learn that when I'm in a relationship with someone, I need to stop that. I need to show them the same amount of respect and time as they're doing for me. And I think with that, that selfishness piece is something that I've learned greatly from.
My brother's like
See, this is what I do for a living. This ain't my first show. Officer Wilson, what's your question for Lucas?
Lucas. So, I work with inmates a lot, and you know, I have to decipher whether they're telling the truth or they're lying. So my question for you is, have you ever told a lie to authority, and why?
We got the hard question, Steve. I have, but I think it's always been in good nature. And I think for that it's been, you know, I work with kids, and I'm a soccer coach as well. Okay. And for me, at times, those small lies or good nature lies have been those that have been, a kid is late to class or maybe skips a class, and I get an email from a teacher or the principal that says, hey, where was little Johnny? And I say, oh, he was with me in the class when he really wasn't. And saying that just so, you know, the kid stays out of trouble, can come out and train and play in the game. So good nature lies, but with the best interest at heart.
Okay.
When we come back, it's Ronald's turn to be interrogated, and we'll see how he does next. Before the break, Cameron's friends and families grilled one of the bachelors to see if he'd be the right match for Cameron. But we've got another man in the lineup ready to be questioned. Ronald, Officer Johnson, Mom, you have a question for Ronald?
Hi, Ronald.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Ronald, I've been doing this for about 10 years now, and I'm pretty good with being able to decipher whether someone's telling the truth to me or not. So I just want to know, if a situation occurs or whatever, and Cameron asks you about it, would you be truthful with her?
Yes. Well, first of all, let me say that I did take a couple of years of Spanish in high school. Yo quiero Taco Bell. But yeah, I like to pride myself on being honest. And just so you know, I have a great relationship with my mother. I'm the oldest, and I'm her only son, so we have a wonderful relationship. I do consider myself a mama's boy, but not in a negative way. You know, like on Think Like a Man, where she was like all in the relationship. Not like that. My mom's not domineering. She's always been nice to anyone that I've dated, so I love her for that.
Okay, well, that was going to be my next question, so thank you.
Okay.
Boy, it's serious right here. Officer Curry, what do you want to ask Ronald?
Me and Cameron's worked together for a long time, and I know she's quick on her feet, and she needs a man that can keep up with her. My question to you, have you ever been in trouble with the law? And if so, what happened, and how did you handle it?
I can't say that I've ever been in trouble with the law. You can feel free to run a background check if you need to. To answer your question, there was actually a situation where I was pulled over for speeding, and he actually gave me a more harsh ticket because I was so nonchalant. I just kind of took the ticket. But I think that's something that would be good for you, because I know you have a line of work that's very stressful. You know, you got people yelling and doing different things at work. So it'd be nice to come home to somebody that's laid back, cool under pressure, and I would love to be that for you.
Tamika, is that something you want to ask Ronald?
Absolutely, Steve.
See, the women always come downstairs.
Cam is one of my best friends, and I would do anything to protect her. So I asked Steve your name prior to the show, and I did my own little investigation. So in the midst of that, I noticed a picture of you on social media with a particular female, all cozied up. Do you care to explain?
Hell no. We ain't never, oh, hell no. I'm so sorry.
Is that him for real?
I don't know, hell, she your friend. What the hell you asking me for?
To answer your question, this was New Year's Eve with an ex a while ago. As you can see, I haven't even grown my hair yet, so you can tell it was a while ago. Unfortunately, that didn't work out, but we're still friends. I hope that's okay. But now I'm ready for another commitment, and I hope you are too.
So hold up, wait a minute. I think they're both honest. I think they said what they had to say. I think they're honest. So, do you have an idea which one you like? Just tell me, do you have an idea?
I do.
Okay, good. Well, it ain't gonna be up to you. Yeah, see, we ain't letting you do nothing else, because you done messed up enough. All your friends and family told me, Steve, she done just messed up enough. She don't need to do nothing else. You don't get to pick. The crowd. No. That crowd. Not y'all. No. This crowd, your friends and family, no, they know her. See, listen to me. Y'all sitting here, y'all couldn't make a good decision with the information you have, but they know all the mistakes. So crowd, huddle up, make a decision. When they come out of the huddle, they'll let us know. All right, now, Officer Johnson, Mom, who is it going to be? Is it going to be Lucas or Ronald?
We've chose Lucas.
Lucas, come on over and meet Officer Cameron. This little girl fine. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. You're good, bro. Like to have you back on the show. We're sending the two of you out right now. You're going to go out right now. If you all want to follow up on this date to see how it went, just go to SteveHarveyTV.com. Big hand for all the officers from the Atlanta area. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, they volunteered to go to prison for 60 days for a real look at life on the inside.
Well, yeah. I'm telling you, to me, it's insane to do this. From 60 Days In, please welcome Colonel Mark Adger, Michelle, and Calvin. So, Calvin and Michelle, why did you both want to do this?
Well, for me, you know, I'm a father of 3 children. I'm a family man, and then not only that, I'm a teacher. So, you know, so yeah, you kind of looking crazy. I had to leave my kids for a little bit, but I'm a school teacher.
I'm looking at your outfit.
I'm an outfit.
I'm sitting there. What made your nutty ass want to go to jail, man? You ain't never been in jail before, have you?
Never. And somebody else said a comment on the video too. They said, this black guy with the bow tie, I know he didn't make it. I'm not about that life. You're right. I'm not about that life, but you know that's why I did though. You know, I took that sacrifice for my community, for the kids that I teach, because the kids I teach, they're high risk of going to this place. So I wanted to experience firsthand and let them know, like, if you make bad choices, this is where you're going to be, and this is not a place where you want to be. And so I just want to be an advocate.
Michelle, what about you?
I've been in property management for over 10 years, and I have a lot of strong opinions about the criminal justice system. I feel like it's broken in this country, and I just wanted to get more insight into that. And I think I also wanted to prove to myself and to my daughter that I could do this, that I was strong enough to actually do this.
Colonel Mark, have any of the volunteer inmates you've trained faced serious danger?
Well, yeah, you know, we had one situation where we lost contact with a participant because the real inmate covered the camera. I've got to contact my staff. The producers are calling me saying we can't see our guy. So I contact my staff, get them in there to find out what's going on. And you'll see this during the season, how this turns out. But we had to deal with that real inmate seriously after that and get eyes back on that participant so that he would stay safe.
Now, we've got a clip of Calvin. That's you? I just can't believe it. We got a clip of Calvin when he first got to the jail and things got real intense. I'm back with Michelle and Calvin, who volunteered to spend time in jail for the hit A&E show 60 Days In, along with Colonel Mark Adger, who prepares Calvin for that experience. He actually trains people for it. Michelle, I understand that your first day was a little bit shocking. What happened?
When I got into the actual pod, it was an intake for hours, but when I got to the actual pod, I had, not even 30 minutes later, 6 women accusing me of being a cop. It was one of the scariest moments of my life, and I got very upset because I'm not a cop. That wasn't what they were saying. What they were accusing me of was a lie. I'm not a cop. I was in property management at the time, so far from a cop, right? So that was that was very scary for me that first night.
Well, we got a clip of Michelle's first hour. Michelle, after that first night, did you think you were gonna make it?
I did not. Absolutely not. There's too many things that are the metal on the bed. There's no cushion. There's no pillow. There's no, to me, in my opinion, edible food.
Right. It ain't.
I beg to differ.
Think it's delicious, Colonel.
I love it.
It's great food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, he's in the military, too. He about that life. We ain't about that life, Steve. We ain't about that life.
We ain't about that life, Steve. He can't ever go back. This is not what you do. How did you guys feel once you got out?
I think the initial feeling I have and I still have today is a feeling of guilt, because once the inmates do watch the show, or if they watch the show, I don't want them to feel like I was being fake or that wasn't the real me that they met, because that was me. I was just in there for a different reason than they were. So just the guilt feeling of not telling them the exact truth and them thinking, oh, she lied to us, or that wasn't really her. You get close to people, you can't. It's human nature that when you live with somebody day in, day out, you're going to get close to them.
Right.
And I did get really close with a couple of the women.
What about you, Cal?
Same thing, kind of piggyback. I did get close to the people, but I was just ready to go. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was ready to go. I was ready to get home and get some of the good stuff. You know, I went a while without it, so, you know, I was surrounded by men. That was something I'd never been. So
what?
I was surrounded by men. I never been surrounded by men like that. So it was just good to be around women, and, you know. So I was glad to be out.
What changes would you like to see in the system?
Well, as far as me, I'm in the educational field, so I think that a better transition, you know, we in these sales, you see what they did. They got nothing but gossip talking about me being informant. They should have been reading, you know, doing a trade or some online courses. They should have been doing something. So I think that they need a transition, because, believe it or not, while I was in there for my time, I seen people leave and come back and leave and come back. And it broke my heart. You know, and these people say I spend more time in here than I have on the streets. And it really broke my heart. It did.
Wow. What about you, Michelle?
First of all, I hope they get some better food that's, you know, a little more edible, nutritious for the women. But the biggest thing I hope is that there's more assistance for some of the women, some of the people in general. They don't have money on their books. They can't call an outside source and talk to them, or call their attorney if they do have an attorney. So I would like to see some assistance for them. I think it would reduce the stress level if they could get some information that they normally wouldn't be able to get. So I hope there's some kind of liaison in there to help them, because they get stressed, and then that increases the violence and increases the, you know, the...
Right. Let me ask you, what would you think would help if the system were different? How?
I think, you know, we've been doing criminal justice this way for so long that we think that's the only way it can be done. But I would like to see more of an integrative approach with all the other criminal justice stakeholders. It's not just the jail. It's got to be the schools, because a lot of times these guys are dropping out of school, and this is all they know how to do is crime. So they come to jail, and all we do is warehouse them for the most part. My philosophy is that we need to modify their behavior as much as we can, but I don't have them long enough. I don't have them 9 years for all the schooling that they missed to correct what they didn't get in elementary and middle school. A lot of these guys don't even finish middle school. So I think we need to integrate what we're doing on the street back into the jails to make these people more like what they're saying, get them back into the community and become productive.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think a few things. Education has to be put into the systems.
Absolutely.
Education is freedom. Once you know better, you can do better.
Absolutely.
There has to be drug programs. When you are a user and you are on dope and you have no means to get it, crime becomes the means to get it. And they're stealing out of necessity. And people don't get that, man. You gotta get some treatment for these people. You gotta educate these people, because they are salvageable people. You just got to give them something else. I'd say thanks to everybody. You should watch this show, man. This show is crazy. Thanks, everybody. Watch 60 Days in Atlanta on A&E Thursday nights at 9, 8 Central. We'll be back.
Don't go away. Some of the worst real excuses used to get out of a ticket.
Didn't you see the red light? The guy says yes. Then the police officer said, well, why didn't you stop? He said, well, hell, I ain't see you.
Or
Closed captioning provided by
Jelly Belly Jelly Beans. The original gourmet jelly bean in 50 true-to-life flavors, like very cherry. Enjoy the adventure.
These boys are enrolling in First Love Advanced Studies.
The kiss.
How about tongue to tongue?
Watch this right here. Keep your tongue in your mouth.
Then, surprise, surprise, Mama's got a man tomorrow.
We've got time for just one more thing. All right, we've been talking law enforcement all hour. I think most everybody in here has at least been pulled over by a cop at some point. People usually say anything to get out of a ticket. We asked our Twitter followers to share some of the worst excuses that they've given to an officer to try to get out of a citation. Here's some of the stuff we got. He just said, look, man, if I don't get this keg back by noon, I'm going to lose my deposit. Here's another one. Dyslexia. I said I thought the speed limit was 53, not 35. Still can't believe it worked. Here's another one. A guy said, I was playing Stomp by Kirk Franklin and stomped too hard on the gas. He laughed, received a warning. Here's another one right here. It says, my boyfriend is cheating. I'm headed to his house. The police said, if I get called out there, you going to jail. This one right here, the officer says, didn't you see the red light? The guy says, yes. Then the police officer said, well, why didn't you stop? He said, well, hell, I ain't see you. Hey, that's our show, everybody. Catch me on Facebook at Steve